A conspiracy has long run through Silicon Valley that the city's whole tech scene is run by a gay cabal helmed by Peter Thiel. Even though that sounds like a sort of horror story written in an Equinox men's steam room, a Wired investigation was published today that showed that it's largely true. The piece was divisive and revealing on many levels. Wired reporter Zoe Bernard spent months interviewing 51 people, 31 of them gay men, in the city, investigated whether gay men had built an informal power network at the very top of tech. It shapes who gets funded, who gets hired, who gets a seat at the table, or an invite to the gay Halloween party. Here's what she actually found. There's some incredible quotes in this article. There's a gay VC group chat that one member describes it 60% business and 40% hee hee ha ha about classically gay topics. There are White Lotus themed parties where, as one source puts it, girls are just not present. They are just not there. There's also a Barry's boot camp that sources describe as the most unofficial networking hub of the whole thing. All guys, all gays, and everyone has abs. The piece also has what might be the quote of the year: straight guys have the golf course, gay guys have the orgy. It doesn't mean it's problematic. Equal opportunity. So that leaves women the nail salon. The piece does go to darker places. Of the 31 gay men interviewed, 9 reported that there were unwanted advances from senior colleagues. One believes that turning someone down cost him a job. Potential LP once invited a founder to a meeting at his home with the suggestion, "We don't need to wear clothes. We could just sit around and talk about your fund in my hot tub." Also intimates there are multiple meanings to something called seat round. It's a very colorful piece. And there's a number that flips the entire story on its head, which is between 2000 and 2022, only 0.5% of all startup venture funding went to LGBTQ plus founders. The narrative, the gays run everything, and the fact that the actual funding data doesn't reflect that can't both be true at the same time. But I have a few theories that potentially reconcile that. One is that the network benefits gay executives, not gay founders. They're completely different populations. So the gay men who are running OpenAI, Apple, Founders Fund, those are operators and investors, not founders that are necessarily seeking capital. So a gay VC funding his gay friends doesn't necessarily show up as LGBTQ founder funding if the recipient isn't publicly out or self-identified. And second, the network is social and not transactional. So the piece itself makes this point pretty much. This advantage isn't necessarily in direct investments, it's in warm introductions, reference calls, investor signals, the kind of access that determines whether you get a meeting at all. None of that shows up in an LGBTQ plus founder funding database. Also, the piece says this explicitly. The network is small, it's self-selecting, lesbians are sidelined, trans founders are largely absent. The gay tech mafia is actually a very narrow slice of cis, affluent and right-leaning gay men who prize aesthetics, low body fat. So the 0.5% could be accurate for LGBTQ plus founders broadly, while a tiny subset of gay men is extracting disproportionate value. Informal networks have always determined who gets access to capital, like Ivy alumni or country clubs or family offices. In this case, Silicon Valley is building its own very fit version of that. That same critique apply. One anonymous signal source also told the reporter that to critique the group at all is to expose yourself to serious danger. The real story was QAnon-level explosive, refused to name any names, and said he feared that he would be, quote, killed for talking. Maybe just stick to applying via LinkedIn.